Well, hello, for Brosies of the Maverick Nation, and it is time for part 5 of What If Deku Had a Demon Quirk? Izuku Midoria. Well, seeing as part 4 left off with things getting patched up, everything clicking together. Basically, it's been like a few years, and Izuku and Bakugo both have their own hero's license, and they also both have their own driver's license, but Izuku's is more of a learner's permit, to be honest. But eventually one day, it's time to get the groceries, and Izuku, he's willing to give his big brother a break. And so he takes the responsibility of getting the groceries. He takes the list, takes the keys, and neither of them have a car yet, so they gotta take Miss Tatsuki's car. And basically he's strolling, and like he gets to the store, he gets everything, and he's going back to get back to the house. And he does, but right as he's about to open the door, something happens. He hears a voice. Well, you're the one. That's very interesting. And then he hears another voice. Interesting as in, what do you mean? And then another voice. You two just be quiet. Wait, he already noticed us. Great. Well, before they can open their big fat traps again, that one over there's Phantom, that one there is Double X, and I am Zero. And Izuku's like, who are you? He knows their names now, but like, what are you doing here? Like, you aren't like familiar, or we don't like really know you guys all that much. Like, you're strange. Like, what are you doing here? And Phantom's about to say something, but Double X kind of stops him, and he looks over to Zero, and Zero's basically just like, Izuku Midoriya, or Izuku Midoriya Tiatsuki, as you're now known. It would be very interesting if we were to get to know each other. If you know what I mean. And Izuku was just like, what do you mean? And Zero's like, oh, please. I already know the whole thing about those things you take. How here lately you've still been saying that they've been helping whenever. Just here lately they've stopped helping. Yet you refuse to tell the truth. And Izuku's like, how do you know about that? And how do you know what's the truth and what isn't? And Zero's just like, trust me, out of these three, I'd say I'm the strongest and most intelligent. If something goes on around here, I'm probably going to know about it. Especially certain secrets. Like the fact that you've been lying to Bakugo for quite some time. About you know what. And Izuku was like, don't tell him. Please. Things are bad enough as it is. But don't need even more stress. And Zero's just like, oh, boo-hoo, family problems. So what? Mother dearest and daddy different. Daddy dearest are 6 feet under. That's just how the world works, Izuku. And if Bakugo can't deal with that, and the reality that you've been lying in order to help him with his own problems, then it proves he's not ready to be your brother. And Izuku's just like, say what? What did you just say to me, woman? And Zero's just like, soon you'll understand. Very soon you'll have to understand. And Bakugo just walking out like, hey, what's going on? And Zero's just like, well, looks like our cover's been blown. Phantom, Double X, we're leaving. And then like, poof. And Bakugo's just like, well, the friends of yours? And Izuku's like, actually, no, not really. I just now met them. I was going to go inside, but then they just came out of nowhere. I had no... I at least thought I would have been able to tell something, but they didn't make any noise at all. And Bakugo's just like, I might need to, pull an all-nighter for this. If these 3 weirdos can just... Basically, Bakugo was just like, I need to pull an all-nighter to make sure everything goes safe and sound. And Izuku was just like, Bakugo, you don't need to do this because of what happened before. And Bakugo's just like, Izuku, it will be fine. I will be fine. And basically, Izuku now, it's like he's just like laying on his bed and he's just thinking to himself like, oh my god. Can't believe I actually managed to make Bakugo think I was asleep. I don't know why he's pulling an all-nighter for me. Whenever I can defend myself just fine. And then Zero just comes out and we're like, oh really? And freaking Izuku's just like, what the shit? And then she's just like, shh, remember your friend. Oh wait, that's right. And then it just cuts to Bakugo, and Bakugo's just like, oh my god, I completely forgot how stressful all-nighters can be. And then Phantom and Double X just come out of nowhere and are like, well, maybe we can help you with that. And Bakugo's just like, what the? And then all of a sudden, like, Double X just reels back and like, boom, punches him in the stomach and like, he's like knocked to the floor. And Phantom is like, maybe with a sword to your neck, you'll be a little bit more complacent. And he just has a sword up to Bakugo's neck, like, holding his head up by, like, his hair. And it's just like, so, whenever our friend is done finishing things with Izuku, you can, do whatever. And basically, Double X is like, are you sure we need to, do this? And Phantom is just like, we've already instigated something. And Bakugo is basically trying to access his quirk, but he can't. It's like the sword is somehow suppressing his quirk. And just like, yes, my power. I can send it through the sword and use it to suppress your quirk. Very interesting, don't you think? And like, basically, Double X is like, ugh, God, how long is she going to take? And Bakugo's like, what do you guys want Izuku for? And Phantom's like, we don't want Izuku. She does. We have no idea why, unless... Well, I'd rather not think about that, to be honest. Even I have standards. And Double X is like, you lying mother fudger. Like, Phantom, you lying mother fudger, you know what you do. And, like, freaking... Zero was just like, so, Izuku, now that everything's been explained about how we're only here because we need you, you do understand what that means, right? And Izuku was like, but Bakugo, and then she's just like, will you quit it with the whole Bakugo thing? I'm sure he can be just fine without you. Besides, do you even really think all those times he apologized for everything that he said were all genuine apologies? And then he's just like, what do you mean? Well, wouldn't you think he would notice if you were lying to him about the whole medication working? Well, of course, like, you notified us, like, I am very aware of. At first they were working, but over time, more diminishing returns, if you know what I mean. It started working less and less, yet you still held all of that back from Bakugo because you didn't want anything to go any more sour than it already had in recent years. You care too much for him, that's your problem, Izuku. You care too much for those that don't care enough about you. I mean, if he truly is as smart as you say he is, don't you think he would have realized? Or maybe he has, and is just waiting out for the long haul, playing the waiting game, toying with your emotions, your feelings. And Izuku's just like, mm. And basically, Zero's just like, you see, Izuku, you really have no idea what Bakugo is all about. He could be just messing with your head. Do you honestly really think that he meant what he said whenever he apologized? If, right now, just all to himself. Do you really think he's that sincere of a person? Or maybe the entire thing with him letting you become a part of the whole Tiansky family was just a game to him. the whole protective brother thing a game to him. And Izuku was just like, a game? Everything, all of that, was a game? No, that can't be right. And Zero's just like, it's happened before. After all, you just don't become a hollow for no reason. That's the same with me and my brother. Never seen him anymore. Heard that he's dead, but you never know. And Izuku is just like, and you see your father did that? And Zero's like, exactly. Now do you understand? And Izuku was just like, I believe I'm starting to get it. And now I have something for you. All Might was going to give it to you. I managed to snake past him. A piece of his hair. Apparently you need some sort of DNA or genetic thing of whatever to do with the last One for All user in order for it to be passed on to you. And Izuku Midoriya is just like Izuku's just like, uh, uh, just like Izuku is just like, what? You're going to give me One for All? And Zero's just like, if you agree to our terms, yes. And Izuku is just like, well, what's the catch? There's got to be a catch to this. And she's just like, you're a lot smarter than I thought you were, Izuku. Yes, there is indeed a catch. This One for All will react to your demon quirk in a certain way. It will be, I guess you could say, a dark One for All. Or darkness One for All. Whichever you prefer. And Izuku's just like, darkness. I see. Will it get rid of the demon, though? The, the thing, my head, you know. And Zero's just like, we'll just have to wait and see. You never know. This is a very experimental thing we're doing here. However, I do see you as the only one worthy of it. And Zero's just like, I'm waiting. Here. Take it. And Izuku's just like, okay, bottoms down the hatch. Okay, so when will the powers start to appear? And Zero's just like, well, it's not really known all that well how that works. However, I do believe you will agree with me that this new agreement of ours will suit you very well. What is this? I sense all of these powers. Damn it, Double X, Phantom. You did it too early. Now they know. I can sense their names. Uraka, Momo, Todoroki. And then it's just like Izuku was just like, did what too soon? And Zero's just like, we had to find a way to subdue Bakugo somehow. Just seems that they were a little bit too eager to do so. So, they're coming. Uraraka, Momo, Todoroki, Ida. I can sense. No, wait. Also that Shinso kid. All of them. They're coming here. I can sense that Asui was also planning on coming, but might have lost some faith in her ability to help. It's a good thing. Someone whose quirk name is Frog. I'm not exactly happy to deal with something like that. And God forbid Phantom know about that. Fashion prima donna mother trucker. And Izuku's just like, so what do we do? And Zero's just like, come with me, Phantom and Double X, to Hueco Mundo. We have a secret base there, where we can make you perfectly fit to be our ruler, our first placer, if you will. And Izuku's like, okay. And then Bakugo just comes like barreling through there. He's like, Izuku, Izuku, they're crazy. And then he just sees Zero and he's like, you. And Zero's just like, well, I guess now it's unavoidable. You're going to have to cut your ties. And Izuku just doesn't say anything. He's like, Bakugo, you. And Bakugo was just like, fine. No, Izuku was just like, fine. Bakugo, I hope this doesn't cause any problems in between the two of us. He just says this in such an asinine tone. However, I said 11 last time. I've improved since then. 21 deadly ball points. The murdering. And there's like, shoo, and Bakugo just gets laid out. He's like, and he's just like barely able to hold it back. He's just getting laid out, and he just like blasts like a howitzer impact through his arms and all the way into the freaking spikes. And he's just like, what do I do now? 21 is my limit. I don't want to kill him. And Zero's just like, well, some hollows have to eat other hollows in order to become stronger. It's kill or be killed. So, you better pray that that attitude of yours doesn't get you killed in Hueco Mundo. That is, if you're actually worth it. Or was I misjudging you? Because I can always kill you and then regain that DNA back for myself. And Izuku was just like, I know you're lying about the whole killing me thing. And Zero was like, yeah, that's right, first placer. So, what do you think about going a higher level? And basically, Izuku's like, fine, you forced me to do this, Bakugo. 32. And it's just like, boom! And Bakugo he's just like all sorts of like screwed over. And then eventually, like, Zero's like, that starts there. And it just creates the Garganta. And then they all just leave out. And like, it's as soon as the heroes get there is whenever they leave out. It's like, whoosh. And then they all just see Bakugo, like, almost dead. And then they, like, get him to a hospital, and whenever he wakes up, he's like, Izuku! Izuku! And Todoroki's like, dude, he's long gone by now. And Ida's like, well, you didn't have to put it that way, Todoroki. And Todoroki's like, well, how other was I supposed to freaking put it? And Bakugo was just like, why? This doesn't make any sense. And Uraraka's like, it's probably their fault. And Momo's like, what do you mean, Uraraka? Of course it's their fault. And Shinso was just standing there, and he's like, boring. And then Bakugo was just like, you want to say that again? Izuku, he was my brother. And you're just gonna act like that? I'm gonna kill you! And then Ida's like, now while you're attached to the freaking IV? He's like, I wouldn't do that being attached to an IV and all. And Bakugo's like, how bad did he freaking hit me? And he's like, the last thing he heard was like 32 or something. 32, 35. And he was just like, ballpoints. He was holding back the entire time. He didn't want to kill me, but... damn it! And All Might just shows up out of nowhere and he's like, I understand. I know what I must now do. And he just gives them all this, like, device thingy. And they're just like, what the hell is this? And All Might is like, it will help you find Izuku wherever he's gone to. And be able to track him down. I'm still on the fence about whether I would like to go with or not. I have my own, just in case I change my mind. So, once you're healed up, Bakugo, I assume you will wish to chase him? And Bakugo's like, chase him? I'm gonna find him and bring him back, no matter what. And All Might just stops and he's like, no matter what? Very well then. And just leaves. And that's where I'm gonna end up part 5 in this series. I keep on trying to think I can drag it out longer, but I keep on coming to the same resolution. It just has to end at part 5. I really thought I could make this longer than the Rainbow Dash would have, but apparently not. Apparently my gusto is somewhere else. And that gusto is indeed in another My Hero Academia what if. But this one, other people have done, but I plan to do it a very special way. You guys will see what I mean whenever we get there. Anyways, for now, the Dark Shadow Maverick is out. Adios.